5.7 weld commands for TAWERS. 15.7.1 ARC-DCT-DELAY. 15.7.2 ARC-LIFT. Format ARC-DCT-DELAY, on, off, value, function. It adjusts length of the arc detection time. At the arc start. On, off, whether to use this function or not. On. Adjust the detect time. Off. Not to adjust the detect time. Lock condition none. Set parameters. Value adjusting value for arc detection time. -1.00 to +1.00. Executing this command with the value at +1 twice does not result in +2. It results in +1. Example: adjust the system setting value by +0.10. ARC-DCT delay on +0.10. Notes: adjusting the arc detection time can be a solution for chipping or insufficient bead at the arc start. Format ARC-LIFT condition: arc start equals up width, arc-send equals up width, time equals lift down time. Function: it determines the use of arc-lift up func. Tn. When used, specify the height to lift up width, and the time taken to lift down time. Condition: select either enable or disable. Enable, to execute the lift up function at the arc start points and arc end points that follow. Disable, not to execute the lift up function at the arc start points and arc end points that follow. Lock condition none. Up width. For arc start. Selectable only when condition is enable. Distance to lifted up the torch at the arc start. 0.003.00 millimeters. Up width for arc-send. Selectable only when condition is enable. Distance to be lifted up the torch at the arc end. 0.003.00 millimeters. Lift down time taken to lift down the torch from the lift up position at the arc start. 0. 10 to 1.00 s. Example: set the arc lift function whose arc start up width is 2 mm, arc end up width is 1 mm, and lift down time is 0.5 second. Arc lift enable arc start equals 2.00, arc send equals 1.00, time equals 0.50. Note: to execute the arc lift function, it is necessary to set the arc lift setting dialog box to valid. If it is set to invalid, the arc lift won't function, although the condition of this command is set to enable. Commands: OM100908282251. 15.7.3 CRATERSLP. 15.7.4 LPSLP. 15.7.5 PTYPE. Format CRATERSLP, terminal condition, slope section, parameters for the slope section, function: it changes welding conditions to the mean L condition, gradually starting from before the slope section for the weld endpoint. Slope section. Designation of slope section: T equals, designate with time, 0.01-999.99, ST equals, designate with distance. 0.01-999.99 mm. Back. From the torque point just before the endpoint to the endpoint. Lock condition none, execute even in arc lock, IO lock, and robot lock. Parameters for the slope section. Specify it with a welding fine adjustment parameter table number to be used in the slope section. None, 1 to 10. Example: change the welding conditions to 100A 16.0 volts 0.30 meters per minute, gradually starting from 50 millimeters before the slope section. Refer to the parameter table No. 5 for the parameters in the slope section. CRATERSLP AMP equals 100 volt equals 16.0 S equals 0.30 D equals 50.00 millimeters PRM equals 5. Notes: applicable only to TAWERS mag welding operation. In the slope section, use the specified welding fine adjustment parameters of the specified table, slope PRM hash. Application examples available in section, appendix, of the operating instructions of Teach Pendant. Format LPSLP here equals, ARAMP, VA equals, a volt, IP equals, BAMP, VB equals, B volt, slope section, equals, value, function. It changes the low pulse welding condi. Turns gradually over the specified slope section. ARAMP A volt. Target amperage of a condition, unit, a target voltage of a condition, unit, V. B amp B volt. Target amperage of B condition, unit, a target voltage of B condition, unit, V. Lock condition none, execute even in arc lock, IO lock, and robot lock. Slope section designation of slope section. T equals, designate with time. D equals, designate with distance next, to the next step. Value or variable. T equals, time, 0.01999.99, ST equals, distance, 0.01999.99, next, no value. Example: change the low pulse welding conditions to 180 A and 24.4 volts for a condition, and 150 A and 22.4 volts for B. Condition over the 50 mm of the slope section. LPSLP La 180 VA 24.4 pounds 150 VB 22.4 D 50.00 mm. Format PTYPE, type, function. It changes the pulsed welding types. Type, pulse type, lock condition, arc lock, internal execution. When the arc lock is released, the pulse type last used is applied. Normal pulse, HD pulse, hyper dip pulse. Example: change to HD pulse type welding. PTYPE HD pulse commands. 252 OM 1009082E17. 15.7.6 RECVRYVOLT. 15.7.7 STARTSLP. 15.7.8 WFSPEED. Format RECVRYVOLT on, off, value, function. It adjusts the compensation voltage at no arc. On, off, whether to use this function or not. On, adjust the compensation voltage. Off, do not adjust the compensation voltage. Lock condition none. Set parameters. Value adjusting value for compensation voltage. -20 to +20, executing this command with the value at +1, twice does not result in +2. It results in +1. Example: adjust the system setting value by +10. RECVRYVOLT on +10. Notes: this command is useful to stabilize the arc in case an instantaneous no arc occurred during welding operation. Format STARTSLP, initial condition, slope section, parameters for the slope section, function. It changes welding conditions from the initial condition to standard conditions gradually in the initial slope section after arc start. Slope section. Designation of slope section. T equals, designate with time, 0.01 ST equals, designate with distance. 0.01 999.99 Next. To the next step. Lock condition none, execute even in arc lock, IO lock, and robot lock. Parameters for the slope section. Specify it with a welding fine adjustment parameter table number to be used in the slope section. None, 1 to 10. Example: change the welding conditions from 100 A 16.0 volts 0.30 meters per minute to the standard welding conditions gradu. Ali while moving 50 millimeters in the slope section. STARTSLP AMP equals 100 volt equals 16.0 S equals 0.30 D equals 50.00 millimeters PRM equals 5. Notes, applicable only to TAWERS mag welding operation. In the slope section, use the specified welding fine adjustment parameters of the specified table, slope PRM hash. Application examples available in section, appendix, of the operating instructions of Teach Pendant. Format WFSPEED, feed speed, function it specifies a wire feed speed. Feed speed wire feed speed lock condition arc lock, internal execution, 0.0125.00 m per minute example set the wire feed speed to 2 meters per minute. WFSPEED 2.00 notes the same command for G2 controller, WFED commands. OM10090882E17253. 15.8 Weld commands, for low pulse MIG. 15.8.1 LPDELAY. 15.8.2 LPDUTY. 15.8.3 LPFRQ. 15.8.4 LPLEVEL. 15.8.5 LPLS. Format LPDELAY, value, function it fine-tunes low pulse start time. Value adjusting value for the start time. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution, -20 to +20, example adjust the system setting value by, +1. LPDELAY +1. Format LPDUTY, value, function it adjusts the percentage of time for the low pulse condition. Value percentage of the time for condition A. 10 to 90%. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution, example adjust the percentage of the time for condition A to 50%. LPDUTY 50. Format LPFRQ, frequency, function it adjusts low pulse frequency. Frequency low pulse frequency. 0.5 to 10.0 Hz. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution, example adjust the low pulse frequency to 2.0. LPFRQ 2.0. Format LPLEVEL, value, function it adjusts the difference in low pulse condition level. Value the difference in low pulse condition level between conditions A and B. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution, -50 to 0, example adjust the percentage of the time for condition A to 50%. LPDUTY 50. Format LPLS, on, off, function it turns on or off low pulse control. On, off turn on or off the low pulse control. Lock condition low pulse control example starts the low pulse control. LPLS on commands. 254 OM10090882E17. 15.8.6 LPWCOND. Format LPWCOND EO equals, a ramp, VA equals, a volt, TAR equals, a time, IB equals, B amp, VB equals, B volt, TB equals, B time, S equals, speed, function it specifies a low pulse welding condi. TNs. A ramp A volt. Amperage of a condition, 1 to 999, a voltage of a condition, 0.199.9, V asterisk, STD, to set the standard voltage to the welding current. A time for a condition, 0.009.99, S. Lock condition none, execute even in arc lock, IO lock. And robot lock. B amp B volt. Amperage of B condition, 1 to 999, a voltage of B condition, 0.199.9, V, asterisk, STD, to set the standard voltage to the welding current. B time for B condition, 0.009.99, S speed welding speed, 0.01 m per minute. Example set a low pulse welding conditions where A conditions are at 188, 26.6 volts, and B conditions are at 150. A. 24.9 volts with the welding speed at 0.50 meters. Min. LPSLP La 180 VA 26.6 tar 0.20 pounds 150 VB 24.9 terabits 0.20 S 0.50. Note the command can be registered when full control mode is selected. Commands. OM10090882E17255. 15.9 Weld commands, for TIG welding. 15.9.1 ACFRQ. 15.9.2 ADJRST_TIG. 15.9.3 ARC-DCT-TIG. 15.9.4 CHKVOLT. Format ACFRQ equals, frequency, function it sets AC TIG frequency. Frequency BP4, 30 to 400, Hz lock condition arc lock, internal execution. Example set the AC TIG frequency to 70 Hz. ACFRQ equals 70. Format ADJRST_TIG function it resets the fine adjustment values for TIG welding to the preset values. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution. Example ADJRST_TIG. Format ARC-set_TIG IP equals, base amp, IP equals, peak amp, WF equals, filler speedy, FRQ equals, frequency, S equals, speed, function it specifies TIG welding conditions. Base amp, 1 to 999, A. Peak amp, 1 to 999, A. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution, specify val. Use. Filler speed 0 to 99.99, frequency, 0.0500.0, Hz speed welding speed, 0.01 max. Speed, max speed varies with manipulator models. Example execute TIG welding whose base current is 120 A, peak current is 180 A, filler speed at 10, at 0.5 Hz. And welding speed at 0.5 meters per minute. ARC-set_TIG pound equals 120 LP equals 180 WF equals 10 FRQ equals 0.5 S equals 0.50. Note depending on the applied specification, the command may not be processed as it is specified. For exam. CLE, if the applied welder is VZ3, as the set range of the frequency for the welder is 0.8-500, any set value below 0.8 will be processed as 0.8 Hz. Format CHKVOLT equals, voltage assumed contact, function it sets a criterion voltage for determining an electrode short. Voltage assumed contact. Criterion voltage for determining electrode short. 0 to 15.0 V. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution. Example set the criterion voltage to 5.0 volts. CHKVOLT equals 5.0 commands. 256 OM10090882E17. 15.9.5 clean. 15.9.6 crater_TIG. 15.9.7 HOTTM_TIG. 15.9.8 HOTSLP_TIG. 15.9.9 IHOT_TIG. Format clean equals, value, function it sets cleaning width. Value N ratio, 50 to 90%. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution. Example set the N ratio to 70%. Clean equals 70. Format crater_TIG IP equals, base amp, IP equals, peak amp, WF equals, filler speedy, FRQ equals, frequency, T equals, timer, function it specifies crater welding condition for TIG. Base amp, 1 to 999, a peak amp, 1 to 999, a filler speed 0.0099.99. Lock condition arc lock, internal execution. Frequency, 0.0500.0 Hz. Timer crater welding time, 0.0099.99 S. Example execute crater welding whose base current is 100 A, peak current is 120 A, filler speed at 10, at 1.0 Hz. For 0.2 second. Crater_TIG IP equals 100 IP equals 120 WF equals 10 FRQ equals 1.0 T equals 0.2. Note: depending on the applied specification, the command may not be processed as it is specified. For example, if the applied welder is VZ3, as the set range of the frequency for the welder is 0.8-500, any set value below 0.8 will be processed as 0.8 Hz. Format HOTTM_TIG, value, function IT adjusts the hot time. Value adjustment: value of hot time. -50 to +50. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: adjust the hot time by +10. HOTTM_TIG +10. Format HOTSLP_TIG, value, function it adjusts the slope time used to change from the hot current to steady current. Value adjustment: value of hot time. -50 to +50. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: adjust the slope time by +10. HOTSLP_TIG +10. Format IHOT_TIG, value, function it adjusts the hot current. Value adjustment: value of hot time. -200 to +200. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: adjust the hot time by +10. HOTTM_TIG +10 commands. OM10090822E17257. 15.9.10 IP_TIG. 15.9.11 IP_TIG. 15.9.12 MIXFRQ. 15.9.13 MIXRATE. 15.9.14 PTYPE_TIG. 15.9.15 PFRQ_TIG. Format IP_TIG, base amperage, function it specifies a base amperage. Base ampere. Age. 0 to 999, A. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: set the base amperage to 100 A. IP_TIG equals 100. Format IP_TIG, peak amperage, function it specifies a peak amperage. Peak ampere. Age. 0 to 999, A. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: set peak current to 150 A. IP_TIG equals 150. Format MIXFRQ equals frequency, function it specifies a MIXTIG frequency. Frequency BP4, 0.120.0, Hz. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: set the MIXTIG frequency to 1.0 Hz. MIXFRQ equals 1.0. Format MIXRATE equals value, function it specifies a MIXTIG frequency. Value AC ratio, 10 to 90%. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: set the AC ratio to 50%. MIXRATE equals 50. Format PTYPE_TIG, pulse width, function it adjusts pulse width for TIG welding. Pulse width, 5 to 95%. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: set the pulse width to 50%. PTYPE_TIG 50%. Format PFRQ_TIG, pulse frequency, function it specifies a pulse frequency for TIG welding pulse frequency. 0.0-500.0%. Log condition arc log, internal execution. Example: set the pulse frequency to 10 Hz. PFRQ_TIG 10.0. Note: depending on the applied specification, the command may not be processed as it is specified. For example, if the applied welder is VZ3, as the set range of the frequency for the welder is 0.8-500, any set value below 0.8 will be processed as 0.8 Hz.